NCAA Week 13 is done deal. Now, to recap myself, out of my 7 picks that I do in the week, I went 5-2. My 2 losses, USC and 14 at Oregon. And somehow I have to think whenever I take these opening point spreads, something is playing against me, and I think it's gambling, but whatever. USC lost by 15. Yeah. Next, Illinois -3 at Wisconsin. Illinois, they got pummeled by Wisconsin because Wisconsin is the best team on the planet, and I didn't know that until I realized that they gave Fickle, which is the head coach, an extension. So that made them run up the score on Illinois. Go figure, right? My wins. Here we go with my 5. Tennessee, -2.5. They destroyed Florida. Penn State, -3.5. Nebraska. They destroyed Nebraska. Virginia Tech. Miami, -6.5. Of course, Miami did what they had to do. I called that one pretty good. And I'm saving the best for last. But Duke at Uncle Bill's house with his gold digger. I was right about that too. Duke handled them like they needed to win. And old Bill Belichick, I was right. And my favorite game of the week, Arizona State -3.5 at Colorado. Arizona State handled them. Why? Because, there's only one thing you can say about Colorado. I'm going to say coaching. But the one thing I do remember about this certain team called the Buffaloes.
What's up, boss? You believe that? Hold on.
I believe.
Hold on. Oh, no. Do you believe that?
I believe.
Huh?
Who said I didn't believe before?
No. I read
Remember this, because...
I sifted through
What did I write?
Yeah.
What did I write?
Oh, no.
Can I ask my question?
Do you believe?
In what?
You don't
You don't
believe.
believe?
Well, apparently I believe that I've made so many videos about Colorado before the season started that they were going to lose 5 games. Boy, they are losing more than I expected. But then again, whenever you have a 3-quarterback system, you don't know what to do with it. That's for later in this video, so stay tuned. All right, we're going into Week 14. After my 5-2 of this week, going into next week, my to-date is 59-36-1. Does that suck? No. Why do I say that? Because the 36 I lost have been point spread busters that were this big, half a point, 1 point, 2 point. It's quite impressive when I take these early point spreads, and they do it. But let's go with it. Game number 1, Georgia Tech. I'm taking Georgia Tech and the 14.5. Oregon at Washington. I'm taking Washington at 12.5. Why? Because Dan Lanning is starting to run his mouth, and it's bothering me. And that right now he's sitting at 0-2 versus the Huskies. Just saying. That's a very, very bad thing to do, to run your mouth about, especially the SEC that he said yesterday. Not happy with it. Indiana at Purdue. Indiana -27.5. Why? Because Indiana's doing what they need to do, and they're doing it and proving me wrong a week. So I'm going to take this one as a loss if Purdue covers. Who cares, right? The year's over. Alabama at Auburn. Auburn, no. Alabama has to win to get themselves positioned in the playoff. Actually, to probably play for the SEC title. We'll see, but I'm taking Alabama -4. Ohio State at Michigan. Michigan +17. I'm taking Michigan because Ohio State, they have to lose. They have to. That's my opinion, either just because I don't like Ryan Day or I just don't like Ohio State because, Ryan Day's resume against Michigan sucks. And game number 6, Clemson at South Carolina. Clemson -5.5. Clemson, they're just better in my opinion, even though they suck. But South Carolina, they played one magical game against Texas A&M, so I'm not bought on them. But Clemson, it wouldn't make any sense for South Carolina to win. But then again, it's gambling. And my favorite game of this week has to be LSU at Oklahoma. LSU plus 13. LSU's the trash heap. They struggled against the Hilltoppers. Let that sink in. The Hilltoppers. Yeah, the Hilltoppers don't suck, but come on. All of a sudden, I'm reading these articles that Van Buren is the answer. Okay. What about the coaching staff? Man, I hate being right, but sometimes I love it. All right, let's complain about some coaching issues. Deion Sanders, of course, I'm not going to make any more videos about denial because at this point, after watching that game last night, the commentators, the Buffalo can do no wrong. And then whenever in the fourth quarter when it was coming down to the end, Arizona State had a good little lead driving, and they said this game's coming down to the wire. Right as he said it, they scored another touchdown. And I was just, these guys, everybody's on the Deion train, and I'm proving why you shouldn't be. Who knows? Okay. Penn State in their coaching search, I really hope Brian Kelly goes so he can destroy them even more. James Franklin, he got his job. I made a video. And what do you do with Texas Longhorns? Man, it's a joke. But, hey, the college playoffs will be starting, man, 2 weeks. Hard to believe, right? Whenever they announce all the games in the bowls. But, yeah, hey, 5-2, 59-36-1, and get ready. Let's go into week 14, the final day of reckoning when it comes to the... I don't even know what to call it anymore. It's all professional now. But, yeah, let's get ready for some bowl games, right? And like I said before, Sanders sheep, the Buffalo sheep, wake up.